ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, so welcome everyone. We are discussing from third canto. We are in chapter 9, Brahma's prayers for creative energy. And so far we have discussed how Brahmaji, after he had the darshan of the Lord, he started offering beautiful prayers. And we'll continue from verse number 13. So verse number 14 we'll start with. So in previous to that, Brahmaji describes two types of worship for the devotees in 11 to 13 verses. And then he continues in this 14th verse. He is offering respects to the form of the Lord. So he says, there are two forms of the Lord, personal and impersonal. So in the 14th verse, he offers obeisances to the personal form and the impersonal form also. So somebody can read the translation of the 14th verse.
Let me offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Sacrament, who is eternally distinguished by his internal potency. His indistinguishable impersonal feature is realized by intelligence for self-realization. I offer my obeisances unto him, who by his pastimes enjoys the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation.
Sashwat Swarupa Mahaseva Nipita Bheda. So Supreme Transcendence, who is eternally distinguished by his internal potency. Sashwat Swarupa Mahasa, eternal consciousness. Mohaya Bodha Dhishanaya Namaha Parasmai. So his impersonal effulgence is realized by intelligence for self-realization. Namaha Parasmai, let me offer my obeisances unto that form. And so first two lines describes obeisances to the Brahman feature of the Lord. And then second to last two lines describe obeisances to the personal feature of Lord Mahavishnu. Vishwa Udbhava Sthiti Laya. So I offer my obeisances to that form also who enjoys the pastimes of creation, maintenance, and destruction of this cosmic manifestation. And the word used is rasaya. Rasayate nama idam chakrameshwaraya. So Prabhupada elaborates that actually he is offering obeisances to the form of Krishna, because this rasaya is the pastime which only Krishna performs, Rasa Leela. So Prabhupada writes about that also in the purport. The Ras dance is performed by Krishna in the company of cowherd damsels. And the personality of Godhead, Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, is also engaged in Ras enjoyment with his external potency. So Krishna is enjoying with his internal potency, and Vishnu is, Garbhodaksha Vishnu is doing Rasa with the external potency, and he is engaged in creation, maintenance, and destruction. And then Prabhupada writes, so we have heard before also how Brahmaji, when he got darshan of the Lord, Lord showed him the form of Vishnu, Krishna also. He showed Tribhanga form, where he could see the one soul of Krishna as he stands in the threefold bending form. Prabhupada writes, the distinction between the Lord and the living entity is definitely experienced when there is sufficient intelligence to understand his internal potency as distinguished from the external potency by which he makes possible the material manifestation. So Prabhupada is elaborating on the word Bodha Dhishanaya. Bodha Dhishanaya means we have to use our intelligence to understand how Lord is interacting with the internal potency and with the external potency. So after announcing the merciful form of the Lord, Brahmaji, he is now revealing that I am surrendering not to the impersonal form, I am surrendering to the personal form. So we'll recite this 15th verse. Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani
यस्यावतार गुणकर्म विडम्बनानि
namani suvigame vivashagrananti
नामानि प्रविगमे विवशानन्ति
tenaik janma shamalam sahasaiva hitva
एकजन्मे समं संसयेत्
samyant apavritamritam tamajam prapadye.
Let me take shelter the lotus feet of him whose incarnations, qualities, and activities are mysterious imitations of worldly affairs. One who invokes his transcendental names even unconsciously at the time he quits this life. He certainly was immediately of the descent of many births and attains him without fail.
So aham prapadye, let me take shelter of yasya, his lotus feet, and his avatars. Yasya avatar, guna, karma, the incarnations, the qualities, the activities, they are vidambanani, they are all mysterious. And namani ye subigame vivashagranti, one who chants vivasha. Vivash means helplessly or unconsciously, even at the time of death. If one chants sahasaiva hitva, if somebody is leaving his body, what happens if someone chants te anek janma shamalam sahasaiva hitva? He gets freed from the contaminations of many, many lifetimes. Samyanti apavrit amritam tam ajam prapadye. I offer my obeisances to that Supreme Personality. So Brahmaji is saying, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, announcing the greatness of the Lord's highest mercy by giving his abode to those people who are like animals by only namabhas. Just by namabhas, if one chants the name of the Lord, he gets freed from all the sinful activities. So therefore, Brahma is surrendering to the personal form of the Lord. Because impersonal Brahman has no form, no name. But the form of the Lord, the name of the Lord, the pastimes, they are very, very merciful. Yasya avatara guna karma vidambanani. As Kunti Maharani says, Janma karma cha vishwatman ajasya karturatmanaha tiryan nishishu yadashu tad atyanta vidambanam. It is very, very astonishing. Tad atyanta vidambanam. Nobody can understand why Lord is working in certain way. And this comes in the Bhishma instructions to Yudhishthir Maharaj. He says nobody can understand how Lord plans. Nahi asya karihechit rajan puman ved viditsitam yaj vijigyasaya yukta muhyanti kavayopi. Nobody can understand. Nahi asya karihechit. Koi nahi samajh sakta hai. Puman, any person, ved, nobody can know. Even great poets and great learned souls, they get bewildered. Muhyanti kavayopi. So vidambanani. Why Lord is working in certain way? Nobody can understand. Temperature thoda kam kar sakte. So what happens? Te anek janma shamalam sahasaiva hitva. They get freed from the contaminations of many, many births. Just by hearing the names of the Lord, one gets purified. Pravishta karna randrena swanam bhava saroruham dhunoti shamalam krishna salilasya yatha. Just like with the first rains, everything gets cleansed off. When the sound vibration enters the ears, pravishta karna randrena, pravesh hota hai, and the sound vibration enters the heart, bhava saroruham dhunoti. Dhunoti means washes everything. Shamalam. So that is how the holy names of the Lord are so very powerful, as Ajamil episode describes very, very graphically. Yamaraj himself tells, just see the glorious power of the names of the Lord. Nam Ucharan Mahatmyam Hareh Pashyat Putraka. O Putra, O my sons, Very affectionately, he's telling Yamdutas, oh my sons, just see the power of the holy names of Lord Narayan. Ajamilopi Agadama Mrityu Pashada Muchyata. Ajamil also attained the higher destination. So that is the power of the holy names of the Lord. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, Vidambanani Namani means the names having similar powers to the qualities and activities of Lord's avatars. So Lord's name is equally powerful as the Lord's avatars. Nama Chantamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Holy name is not different than the Lord himself. Or it can mean the names which present the Lord's qualities and actions are enacted by actors. Person acting as Krishna is also called by names like Govinda. So the names of the Lord, they are also called by the same potency as Supreme Lord. Or, he says, it can mean names not suitable to represent qualities and activities of the Lord, since they are also used for one's own sons and brothers. So Vidambanani Namani, the names are very mysterious. If somebody is keeping his son's name as Govinda, then that name is not the same as, calling Krishna, but it gives the same benefit. So that is how anyone who chants the names of the Lord will get purified. So after this, Prabhupada writes, activities of the incarnations of the Lord are a kind of imitation of the activities going on in the material world. He is just like an actor on the stage. An actor imitates the activities of a king on the stage, although actually he is not the king. Similarly, when the Lord incarnates, he imitates parts with which he has nothing to do. So Lord is doing so many things when he appears, although he has no duty. As Krishna says, Namam Karmani Limpanti, and in 3rd chapter, I think he says, there is no duty for me to perform, but still I am working. क्या है वो श्लोक क्या है 3.16 21 ना यद्यत आचरति के बाद आता है वो शायद he says I have no duty to perform in this world, but still I am यदि हि हम न वर्तेयम जातु कर्मण्य तंत्रिता मम वर्तमानु वर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः नमाम कर्माणि लिम्पन्ति नमे कर्म फले स्पृहा इति माम यो विजानाति कर्मभिर्न सबध्यते. So that's what Prabhupada is writing here. Prabhupada writes, when Lord appeared, he played the part of son of Yashoda and Nanda. He lifted Govardhan. Although lifting the hill is not his concern, he can lift millions of Govardhans. He does not need to lift it with his hand. His energies are sufficient, but still he is doing everything so that we can relish these pastimes. And he performs these activities in such a perfect way that nobody can understand he's acting. He's just a perfect actor who perfectly plays his role, and nobody understands that ye to natak kar rahe, he plays his role perfectly. And then after this, Brahmaji offers respects to the universal form of the Lord. Brahma offers respects, indicating that not only he, but all the elements starting from the Mahat Tattva should surrender to the Lord, since they all arise from the Lord. So with this mood, he offers respects to the universal form. Translation, somebody can read? 16th verse.
Your Lordship is the prime root of the tree of the planetary systems. This tree has grown by first penetrating the material nature in 3 fronts, as me, Shiva, and you, the Almighty, for creation, maintenance, and dissolution. And we three have grown with many branches. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you, the tree of cosmic manifestation.
So he says, Yova, one who, Aham, I, Girisha, Lord Shiva, and Cha Vibhu Swayam, and the Almighty. So Brahmaji is telling myself, Lord Vishnu, Brahm, and Shivji. They are engaged in Sthiti, Udbhava, and Pralaya. They are engaged in creation, maintenance, and destruction. Hetava Atma Moolam. Your lordship is the root, primary root of this tree of planetary system. Although we are doing all these three activities, but we are grown from the main root. You are the main root. Bhitva Tripadava Vriddha. And this tree, it has grown how? By penetrating the material nature in three trunks. The three trunks are creation, maintenance, and destruction. This tree has grown by penetrating the material nature in three trunks. Sorry, three trunks means three worlds. Bhu, Bhuva, Swa. Namo Tasmai Namo Bhagavate Bhuvana Drumaya. I offer my obeisances unto you. You are the Bhuvana Drumaya. You are the tree of cosmic manifestation. Prabhupada writes, how Lord is the supreme controller of everything. He is the primary root. He controls Maya Dakshina Prakriti. The Lord expands himself into three, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And Vishnu is almighty. He is not controlled by the laws. Other two, Brahma and Shiva, they are controlled sometimes. Lord Vishnu is never controlled. And then Prabhupada writes, last few lines. The conception of the first paragraph, last few lines of the first paragraph. The conception of many demigods controlling the many departments of material nature is ill-conceived of by the foolish pantheist. God is one without a second. Pantheism means everything is God. There are many gods. So this is foolish conception because they don't understand all these controllers, they are powerful, but inke upar bhi ek aur hai, who is a supreme controller. He is the cause of all causes. But due to poor fund of knowledge, the impersonalist does not believe in the personal management. So impersonalists, they think, how can this universe, which is such a huge manifestation, can be controlled by a person? Person means limited. And how can a limited person control the entire universe? Not possible. So therefore, the creator must be impersonal energy. And then Prabhupada quotes this Bhagavad Gita, Urdhva Moolam Adashakam Ashwatham. So Prabhupada writes, in the eternal potential manifestation of Vaikuntha Loka, the actual tree exists. And the tree reflected in the material shadow is only the shadow of this actual tree. Okay, so now, after spoken about the universal form of the Lord, Brahmaji, in 17th verse, he offers respects to the time factor. The Lord as the time factor. Yeah.
Regarding this, I think this conception of pantheist, like many Suryopasana, Saraswati Pujan, I think that has come from Mayavad only, I think.
No, Mayavad, they have this different conception of Panchopasana, but in the Vedic scriptures, it is always there. The Mayavadis, they have made these 5 devatas, and they say ultimately we have to go beyond them. They have decided that these are the 5 prominent devatas. We'll worship them, and then we'll go beyond them. Why only 5? Because they decided. because they were in power. हम जो भी decide करेंगे. And ultimately their purpose is we have to go beyond them. But the Devta worship is always there in the scriptures. It is not that
And
they,
Vedas also it was there.
of course. Bhagavatam
Because
also.
I think in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita is saying, I say the demigods and they will give you yagya and all.
Yeah.
That.
So third chapter of the second canto also we discussed. Na? Shukdev Goswami describes the various Devta worships.
Yeah.
If you want this, worship this. You want this, worship this. So Devta worship is there.
So in Vedas also this is mentioned about the various devatas. But this again now in this Bhagavatam they are saying only Lord is the topmost. That the confusion in many people is this one. They don't accept that.
Yeah.
Easily. In India it's very difficult.
Because they don't study, nobody can come to the conclusion of the Vedas by their own study, because Vedas are like a huge tree, banyan tree. Where is the root? Which root is the original one? How it started? It is very difficult to understand. So therefore, we have to take shelter of a bona fide guru. Then only one can understand. Otherwise, Vedas are made in such a way, written in such a way that nobody can come to a conclusion ki who is God. And Vedas themselves confuse people. There is a verse in Padma Purana or somewhere. Amnaya bhyasana aranya ruditam veda vratanyanvaham. Amnaya means all the Vedic literature is called Amnaya. Amnaya abhyas, the study of the Vedas, it is like crying in wilderness. Aranya ruditam. Nobody will hear whatever you are saying. No, you will not understand. Nobody will come to your help. So scriptures themselves say, all the austerities mentioned in the Vedas are many times just to burn the fat.
Burn the fat.
पतला होने के लिए तपस्या करते हैं, है ना? मेद छेद फलान्यन्वहम, ऐसा कुछ तो श्लोक है. I can tell you the verse also. It is there quoted in one of the purports. Prabhupada quotes that in Amnaya Bhyasana. So that is how we have to understand. Amnaya Bhyasanani. Yeah. So this comes in Mukundamala Stotra, sorry.
Okay.
So 21st verse of the Mukundamala Stotra says, Amnyaya Bhyasananyaranya ruditam veda vratanyanvaham medascheda phalani kurta vidaya sarvam hutam bhasmani tirthanam avagahanani chagajasnanam vinayat pada dvandambhoruha samsrati vijayate deva saranarayana. So he says, if somebody is not remembering the lotus feet of Lord Narayan, reciting of the scriptures is merely crying in wilderness. Regular Meda Cheda Phalani, all the tapasya vows mentioned in the Vedas is no more than a way to lose weight. Execution of the prescribed duties is like pouring oblations onto ashes. Nothing will happen. And bathing at the holy places is like Tirthanam, it is Avagahanani cha Gajasnanam. Elephant bath.
Elephant bath.
Again put mud all over. So that's how it is not easy to understand the essence and the goal of scriptures. Very difficult.
We have to under Guru and who can guide us properly. Then we are properly situated and understand.
Then we'll understand. Okay, 17th verse. Loko vikarma nirata kushale pramattaha.
Loko vikarma nirata kushale pramattaha.
Karmanyayam tvadudite bhavadarchane sve.
Karmanyayam tvadudite bhavadarchane
Yastavadasya balavaniha jivitasham.
Yastavadasya balavaniha jivitasham.
Tadyashinatya animishaya namostu tasmai.
Sadyashishadya nimishaya namastute tasmai.
One more question. Today in Bhagavad morning.
Translation.
People in general all engage in foolish acts. not in the really beneficial activity initiated directly by you for their guidance. As long as their tendency for foolish work remains powerful, all their plans in the struggle for existence will be cut to pieces. I therefore offer my obeisances unto him who acts as eternal time.
Yeah.
Only there was a Bhagavatam Shloka, 3.28.52. It was very complicated. The meter was also different. Sometimes meter is very easy, the words are all easy. So actually, sometimes it feels, is it told by the same person or by different people? The
Same persons.
The shlokas are different meters coming. And sometimes the shlokas are very complicated, some are very easy.
पोएट को एक ही स्टाइल में लिखना पसंद नहीं रहता है. He uses different styles of writing. There are different meters, so the writer can decide अब यहाँ पे ये वाला meter डालना है. I want to put this. There are some prose verses are in prose. You have to just read it. There is no meter for it. Fifth canto, many verses are like that. Prose बोलते हैं उसको. So it depends on how author writes. So they are all written by Vyasdev. Vyasdev, he has decided. Okay, he thought
It
maybe
might have come spontaneously, isn't it? Many times.
he is Supreme Lord. He decides. He says, "Loko vikarma nirataha kushale pramattaha." People in general are engaged in vikarma. They are engaged in all foolish acts. And karmani ayam. All these they are not really beneficial because they are initiated, although not in the really beneficial activities, initiated directly by you for their guidance. So people are engaged in all the foolish activities which are not actually for their benefit, but still Lord guides them in a way which according to their nature. Yes, tavat, as long as asya balavan, jivitasha, as long as their tendency to enjoy this world remains powerful, Lord guides them in that way. And you know what Lord does in the form of time factor? Sadhya chinati. He destroys all their plans in this struggle of existence. Therefore, he is animishaya. Animishaya means he is eternal time. Animish means he never closes his eyes. Nimisha, animisha. He is always alert in the form of time factor. There is another place where it is described in Rudra Gita. The Lord in the form of time factor, he punishes, he attacks when the person is least attentive. Just like a snake catches a mouse. Shulle lihano ahir ivantakam mukha. This is a beautiful verse. Shulle lihano, just like ahi means a snake. When he sees that there is a प्रमत्तमुच्चैर इति कृत्य चिंतया प्रवृद्ध लोभम विषयेषु लालसा त्वम अप्रमत्तः सहसा विपद्यसे शुल्ले लिहानो अहिर इवांतकमुखम. This is also description of the time factor. So he is also describing 4:24:66. So Supreme Lord, Lord Shiva is describing the glories of the Lord in the form of time factor.
4th canto 24.
Yeah. Yes. So he says, people who are pramattam, pakka pagal hai. They are totally mad in what? They are mad for sense gratification.
Okay.
Pramattam uchchai. And what are they doing? They are planning. Iti kritya chintaya. Same words. All the plans. Pramattam uchchai riti kritya chintaya. Why they are planning? Praviddha lobham. They have unlimited greed and vishayeshu lalasa, and they want to enjoy. So the person who is engrossed in sense gratification, he is always oblivious of the time factor. The person who is enjoying, he doesn't realize, समय तेली चला गया, अरे, time khatam, is not able to understand it. But Tvam apramatta sahasa vipadyase, you never lose track of time. You are not intoxicated. Apramatta. And what happens? Sahasa. All of a sudden, abhipadyase, you attack. The time factor attacks, seizes the person, just like shulle lihano, just like snake, he swallows antakaha akhum. Akhum means a mouse. Shulle lihanor ahir iva antakam mukham. So that's how Lord is very, very alert. He is always aware of how all the living entities are making plans, and he destroys all of them in the form of time factor. Prabhupada writes, people in general are engaged in senseless work. They are systematically unmindful. They are systematically unmindful of the real beneficial work, which is devotional service. So systematically they neglect every part of spiritual life. They will plan everything so that they will not come close to spirituality. Because how they will enjoy then? So systematically they plan how to avoid all the spiritual things. The Archana regulations are directly instructed by the Lord in Narada Pancharatra and are strictly followed by the intelligent men who know well that highest goal is worship of Lord. But foolish people do not know this. And Prabhupada quotes these verses of Prahlad Maharaj as he is instructing Hiranyakashipu. He says, "Oh my father, you are falling in this deep dark well of material existence. And what are you doing? You are chewing what is already being chewed. And people like you, they are like blind people following other blind men, and both are falling into a ditch. Unless you take shelter of the lotus feet of devotees, there is no hope for you." So Prabhupada writes, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord asks everyone to give up their occupation and absolutely engaged in archan, sarvadharman parityajya. And then the systems of Gyan and Yoga are also indirectly rebellious acts against the Lord. Very strong verse, very strong purport. Yoga and Jnana, they are also indirectly rebellious only because they want something. Karma kanda, Jnana kanda, keval visher bhand, amrit boli jeba khaye, nana yoni sada phire, kadarya bhakshan kore, tara janma adha pate aaye. Karma kanda is outrightly frustrating. Jnana kanda is also same. And yoga is also same, because they get something, but it is not eternal. Jnanis, they may go to Brahman, they fall down. Yogis, they are attached to mystic powers. Only devotees are bona fide candidates for liberation. And then, so after describing the power of the time factor, he gives another example of himself. He says, this time factor is so powerful that just see me. I live for Dviparardh. One Parardh is 50 years. Dviparardh. I am still afraid of this time factor. That one day I'll have to die. But now What is happening? Because of practice of bhakti, I have conquered the fear of time. Very, very important. Yasmad bibhemyahamapi dviparardhyadhishnyam adhyasita sakala loka namaskritam yat tepe tapo bahusavo varurut samanas
Tepe tapo bahusavo avrutat
tasmai
samana.
namo bhagavate dhimakhaya tubhyam.
Tasmai namo bhagavate adimakhaya tubhyam. Hare Krishna.
Your
Your
Lordship,
Lordship.
I offer
हाँ पढ़िए माता जी पढ़िए.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Your Lordship, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are indefeatable time and the enjoyer of all sacrifices, although I am situated in an abode which will continue to exist for a time duration of 2 parardhas, although I am the leader of all other planets in the universe, and although I have undergone many years of penance for self-realization, still I offer my respects unto you. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
So this verse describes the limits of the strength of time. It says, I am Brahma, situated on Brahma Loka, which lasts for Dviparardhya, 311 trillion 40 billion years. Prabhupada gives the calculation. In spite of all that, I fear this time factor. Chakravarti Thakur writes, what was your contemplation in performing these sacrifices to control time? Lord is asking him, why you were doing all this sacrifice and tapasya? He said, I was thinking that I could bring time under the control by sacrifice to you. But I am controlled by time. And even now I fear time. But now, without pure bhakti, time cannot be conquered. This is what I have understood today. And therefore I offer my obeisances to you. I should also perform pure bhakti only. So that is what Brahmaji is thinking. Nobody can conquer time, but devotee conquers time. Any verse where this is mentioned? क्या है? Devotees beyond time. Very famous verse. Payurharti Vaipumsam Udyamastancha Yannasau Tasyarte Shanau Nita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. With every rising and setting of the sun, life is decreasing, but a devotee is coming close to eternal life. He is not controlled by the time factor. Okay, so now, after offering respects to universal form, after offering respects to time factor, now he is offering respects to the personal form of the Lord, who is the form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. He's offering prayers in the 19th verse. Tiryan manushya vibudhadishu jiva yonishva
Tiryan manusya vibudhadishu jiva
Atme
yoni
chayatma krita setu paripsayayah
atmacheyadkruta setu paripasayaya
Reme nirasta vishayopyavaruddha deha
preme nirasta vishayo vyavruddha deha
Tasmai namo bhagavate purushottamaya
tasmai namo bhagavate
Bhagavate
purushottamaya.
Purushattamaya.
Oh my Lord, by your own will, you appear in the various species of living entities, among animals, lower than human beings, as well as among the demigods who perform your transcendental pastimes. You are not affected by material contamination. You come just to fulfill the obligations of your own principles of religion. And therefore, O Supreme Personality, I offer my obeisances and to you for manifesting such different forms.
So he's now offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord who is there sleeping on Ananta Shesha. Tiriyan, Manushya, Vibudhadi, Jivayoni. You appear in various species of life. You appear even in the lower species. Tiryak. Tiryak means lower species. Manushya, you appear in human species. You appear in Vibudhadi. You appear in the species of the Devatas. Who is the form? Appeared in Devata species? Vamanadev. Atma Ichhaya. By your own will you appear. Nobody forces you. Why you appear? Krit Setu Paripsayayaha. You come to fulfill the obligations of your own principles of religion. You establish principles, you come to strengthen them, you come to protect them. Reme Nirasta Vishayo. You come to perform so many wonderful pastimes. But Avaruddha Deha, you are not affected by material contamination. Tasmai Namo Bhagavate Purushottamaya. I offer my obeisances to that Supreme Personality of God. And then he offers respects to the form he is seeing in front of him in 2 verses. Translation, somebody can read in the 20th verse. Translation.
My Lord, you accept the pleasure of sleeping in the water of devastation, where there are violent waves, and you enjoy pleasure on the bed of snakes, showing the happiness of your sleep to intelligent persons. At that time, all the universal planets are stationed within your abdomen.
So in the previous verse, Chakravarti Thakur writes something about Avaruddha Deha. So Avaruddha Deha means the form which is uncontaminated, not affected by all these material activities. He says, Chakravarti Thakur writes, Avaruddha Deha means he has a restricted body because he is bound by the Yashoda's rope. So therefore, he has a restricted body. And by the other devotees, by the taste of their affection. So Lord is unlimited, uncontaminated, but he gets bound by the love of his devotees. Okay, now in this verse, he says, Yah avidya. We are on 20th, right? Okay. Yah avidyana anupahato. He says, I offer my respects to the Lord, uninfluenced by ignorance. Yah avidyaya anupahataha. Upahataha means influence by avidya. You are not influenced. Upahata means influenced. Anupata means not influenced. You are not influenced by ignorance. And the ignorance has 5 functions. Dash ardha vritya. Very wonderful way of telling 5. So 5 nahi bolenge. Dash ardha. Half of 10. So what are the 5 causes of ignorance? 5 functions of ignorance? I think Prabhupada also writes. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha. So these are the 5 functions of ignorance. Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha. So he says, you are not affected by any of these 5 things of ignorance. What you do, although you are sleeping, Nidram Vaha, you are nicely sleeping on the bed of Ananta Shesha, Jathari Krita Loka Yatra. And as Garbhodaksha Vishnu is sleeping on the bed of Ananta Shesha, in his abdomen, all the living entities are there. Jathari Krit Loka Yatra. सब लोगों की यात्रा उधर ही चल रही है. Everybody is there. You are holding. And the Lord is sleeping, Nidram Vaha, and this bed is very soft. Antar jale ahi kashipu. Kashipu means very common word. Hiranyakashipu. Kashipu.
Bed, soft bed.
Soft bed. So he says ahi kashipu Sparsha Anukulam. Happy to
golden
touch.
person.
Huh. Okay. So this soft bed of Ananta Shesh is very, very comfortable for Lord Ananta. And cooling also. Snakes are anyways cool. Sparsha Anukulam. And what is happening? You are in the midst of water. Urmi Malini. Urmi means all the waves are there. Urmi Malini. So all these waves of material creation, material world, they are fearful to people. But you are comfortably sleeping. So that is how he describes the Lord. He says, very interesting. Your sleep is also interesting. First of all, you are sleeping on the bed of snake. Second, Chakravarti Thakur writes, even at the time of destruction, you keep sleeping. Destruction gives fear to everyone, but you are sleeping nicely, peacefully, happily, and you are without fear in all circumstances. So therefore, only a very sleepy person will be happy to sleep in any situation. But still, उसको बोलेंगे आप इधर सो जाइए, लेकिन हमने सुना है कि एक सांप ये रूम में दिखा था अभी. But Lord, if somebody claims to be God, says, okay, एक sleep test है आपके लिए, आप सो जाओ, एक छोटा सा सांप आपके रूम में छोड़ेंगे. So that is how Lord is. Prabhupada writes, people cannot think of anything beyond the limit of their own power, like frogs in a well. Prabhupada का famous story है, Kupamandu, Dr. Frog. Kupamandu का न्याय. When people are, told that Lord sleeps on a bed of snake, they are surprised that one can lie down within water and sleep very happily. But a little intelligence can mitigate this foolish astonishment. There are many living entities within the ocean. They are eating, sleeping, enjoying there. So if insignificant living entities can do, why not Lord? So that's how Lord is. Okay, he continues.
So, पांच जो आपने बताया ना, पहले क्या बताया अविद्या, second
Avidya, Dvesha, Raga, Avidya, Asmita.
अस्मिता है ना विनिवेश, तो दोनों मतलब क्या है?
I'll tell you.
राग द्वेष तो ठीक है, समझ गए. राग मतलब आसक्ति, and द्वेष मतलब.
So Avidya means ignorance.
Ignorance.
Asmita means false identity.
Okay.
Rag means attachment.
Dvesh means
Dvesh means detachment for or enviousness. Abhinivesh means material engagement. We are engrossed in material things. Abhinivesh.
Abhinivesh matlab we brought some borrowed confidence, something like that.
No, we are grossly in material engagement. We want to enjoy material things. We are absorbed in that.
Okay.
That is Abhinivesh.
Is it equivalent to that five creation of ignorance, or is it
Yes,
same, equivalent?
No. That is different. Moha, Mahamoha, Tamishra, Andha, Tamishra. That is different. Okay, so now he continues. So after he tells that, oh Lord, you are sleeping. Please wake up. I want to do Mangala Arati for you. So now he is waking up the Lord. So this and the next verse, I think isi mein aata hai na, Sosa Vadabra, it will come. When we wake the Lords in the temple in the morning, this verse is spoken, 25th verse. We'll come to it. Yannavi Padma Bhavanadahamasamidya Lokatrayopakarano Yadanugrahena Tasmai Namasta Udarastha Bhavaya Yoga
Tasmai Namasta Udarasthabhavaya Yoga
Nidravasana Vikasannalinekshanaaya
Nidravasana Vikasanna Lekshanaya.
O object of my worship, I am born from the house of your lotus navel for the purpose of creating the universe by your mercy. All these planets of the universe were stationed within your transcendental abdomen while you were enjoying sleep. Now, your sleep having ended, your eyes are open like blossoming lotuses in the morning. Hare Krishna.
So he says, okay, now your sleep is ended. Please wake up. Wake up. I'm your servant. I want to perform Mangal Aarti for you. That's what Chakravarti Thakur writes. Idya. Idya means worshipable one. The last word of the first line. Hamasam Idya. O worshipable Lord, Tasmai Namaha. I offer my obeisances unto you. And Yannabhi Padma Bhavanad. From whose navel this entire universe, entire lotus has come. And Ahamasam, I appeared on that lotus by Yad Anugrahena. By your mercy, I have appeared. And therefore, now what has happened? All these planets of the universe, Loka Traya, all these three planetary systems, they are situated in this lotus flower only. That's what Brahmaji did. He used the lotus to create the planetary systems. Raw material kahan se aayega? So he used the lotus. So he says, Udarastha Bhavanaya. So the Lord's abdomen was the place where this entire universe was there. Now it has come out. So therefore, Vikasat Nalina Ikshanaya. Your lotus eyes are open now. Because now the night has ended. Nidra avasan, yoga nidra avasan. Your sleep has ended, transcendental sleep has ended. Please open your eyes. So Prabhupada, he tells how Brahmaji is teaching us the beginning of Archana regulation from morning 4 o'clock to 9-10 o'clock. So devotees in the early morning, they should wake up, take bath, chant, do Mangal Aarti. And then he says, foolish non-devotees, not understanding the importance of Archana, criticize the regulative principles, but they have no eyes to see that the Lord also sleeps by his own will. The impersonal conception is so detrimental to the path of devotional service that it is very difficult to associate with stubborn non-devotees. So Karmis and Mayavadis. So what they do, Karmi, they want to jump. If there is a tree on the bank of the river and they are seeing the reflection in the river, the Karmis will think, oh, there is a mango in the river. They jump in the river to find the mango. And the Mayavadis, what they do? They think that there is no mango in the river and there is no real tree also. So that is the difference. So that's what Prabhupada is writing here. They can't understand that there is a personal Lord. Impersonalists always think backwards. They think that there is a form in matter, spirit should be formless. मतलब form matter में जो भी है spirit में नहीं होना चाहिए. So that's how they come to the understanding of the spirit. If the matter has form, spirit should be formless, because matter and spirit is completely opposite things. They don't have this conception that Nirguna means no material qualities. It is not that no quality at all. Prabhupada writes, because in matter there is a sleep, in spirit there cannot be sleep. Because we sleep, Spirit, Supreme Lord is spiritual. Why does he sleep? And they say deity is the worship of matter, so it is Maya. That is the understanding of the Mayavadis. Prabhupada writes, Neti, Neti, not this, not this. This is not matter. This is not God. This is not God. This is not God. So who is God? That we don't know. But ye nahi hai, ye bhi nahi, ye bhi nahi, ye bhi nahi. That's how it is. So now, after offering his praise to the Lord from 22 to 25, 22, 23, 24, 25, in these 4 verses, Brahmaji is making request to the Lord. And very nice prayers he is offering. Soyam samast jagatam suridek atma
सोऽयं समस्तजगता सुहृदेकात्मा
सत्त्वेन यन्मृडयते भगवान् भगेन
तत्त्वेन मृडयते भगवान्
तेनैव
भक्तेन
मे दृशम् अनुपृशताद् यथाहम्
तैनेव मे दृशमनुस्पृशताद्यथाः
स्रक्ष्यामि पूर्ववदिदं प्रणतो प्रियोऽसौ
स्रक्ष्यामि पूर्ववदितं प्रणतप्रियोऽसौ.
As the Supreme Lord, we merciful towards him. He is the one friend, he is the one friend and soul of all living entities in the world. And he maintains all for their ultimate happiness by his 6 transcendental abilities. May he be merciful towards me so that I as before, may be empowered with the introspection to create, for I am also one of the surrendered souls who are dear to the Lord.
Very, very beautiful prayers Brahmaji is making. These are the 3 requests every devotee should make when he gets or she gets a service. So he says, first, empower me. You have given me the service, please empower me. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartani. In the next verse, he says, if I do the service nicely, what will happen? I may become proud. Please protect me from false ego. And sometimes under the mode of ignorance, I may get deviated from the service. So 3rd verse, he says, please save me from deviation. So these 3 things are very important. Empower me, protect me from false ego, and save me from deviation. So in this 22nd verse, he is praying, empower me, O my Lord. So I am Bhagavan, O Supreme Lord, who is Samast Jagatam Surit, who is a protector of all the spiritual and material worlds. And he is Ek Atma. He is a super soul of this entire universe. So what he does, Sattvena Yan Mridayate, by Sattva Guna, he gives happiness to living entities. And Bhagavan Bhagena, and to his devotees, he gives spiritual qualities. To material people, to materialistic people, he gives mundane happiness. To devotees, he gives spiritual qualities. Tenaiva me drisham, that Supreme Lord, please give me anuprashtad yathaham. Please give me, please protect me. Please protect my material wisdom and spiritual wisdom. Anuprashtad me drisham. Please protect and empower me. Srakshyami purvavat. So that purvavat, this is the one of the days of Brahma. He lost his memory of the past day. Kaise kiya tha malum nahi. So he's saying, please empower me so that I can create purvavat. जैसे पहले बनाया था वैसे ही बनाना है. As I created living entities like Marichi and devotees like Narada, I want to create again. So that is what is he praying. He is asking for empowerment. And then in the next verse, he is fearful of Rajogun. Because when you start creating something, Rajogun comes. And Rajogun may create pride. So therefore he prays for protection from false ego. Esha prapanna varado ramayatma shaktya yat yat karishyati grihita gunavatarah
यद् करिष्यति गृह्णीत
tasmin
गुणावतारः
swavikramamidam srijatopi cheto
तस्मिन् विक्रममिदं सृजतोऽपि चेतो
yunjita karma shamalam cha yatha vijahyam.
युञ्जीत कर्मशमलं च यथा विजयाम्.
The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, is always the benefactor of the surrendered souls. His activities are always enacted through his internal potency. Rama, or the goddess of fortune, I pray only to engage in his service in the creation of the material world, and I pray that I not be materially affected by my works, so that I may be able to give up the false prestige of being the creator.
I should not be proud of this service which I am doing. So, my Lord, when I create this universe, idam srijato, I am creating this universe by your power only. Swavikramam, tasmin swavikramam idam srijato. By your power only, I will be creating this universe. And what are you doing? You are prapanna varda. Anybody who surrenders unto you, you show mercy. You benedict them. So therefore, please give me one benediction. I should not be contaminated. Yunjit karma shamalam. I should not be entangled in the sins involved in this service. What is a sin? Sin of pride. So one thing is to do service, other thing is to be not to be proud after doing the service. So it is very, very important. There is success of the mission and success of an individual. Both are important. Institutional success and personal success. Both are important. One may build a big temple, that is success of the mission. But if one forgets that I am doing it by the mercy of the Lord, by the mercy of devotees, and one becomes proud, then the individual success is not there. So therefore, Brahmaji is praying, please show mercy so that I can remain humble. Prabhupada writes, Brahma, who is only an assistant in the modes of creation, wanted to remain in his actual position as the instrument, instead of becoming puffed up by the false prestige of thinking himself the creator. That is the way of becoming dear to the Lord and receiving his benediction. Somebody becomes proud of his services. The service may be done properly, but he may not receive the mercy of the Lord because he became proud of it. So that is the understanding. Because Prabhupada writes, foolish men want to take credit of all creations made by them. But intelligent people understand not a blade of grass moves without the will of Krishna. Because Krishna is the strength of the strong. Paurusham Rishu, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. I give strength, I give knowledge, I give remembrance. And in fact, that's what Lord will say in next 29th verse. I gave you everything, Brahmaji. You heard tapa tapa, I spoke. You believed those words, I gave you faith. You did tapasya, I gave you strength to do tapasya. Now you're offering prayers, I am giving you intelligence to offer prayers. And then in the 24th verse, he says, I should not forget the Vedic wisdom, because Rajogun can make one forget Vedic wisdom also. So see, he's saying, please save me from deviation. translation, somebody can read 24th verse.
The Lord's potencies are innumerable. As he lies down in the water of devastation, I am born as the total universal energy from the navel lake in which the lotus sprouts. I am now engaged in manifesting his diverse energies in the form of the cosmic manifestation. I therefore pray that in the course of my mental activities, I may not be deviated from the vibration of the Vedic hymns.
So that is what is very, very crucial for a practicing devotee to understand. As we are doing our services, we are dealing with people, we are dealing with our own mind, our own anarthas. So Maya's job is only one, to distract us, to deviate us from our path. So therefore, a devotee should always be very, very careful not to get affected by the infection of the people around us, and not to get overwhelmed by seeing our own anarthas which come. So we should be empathetic when we deal with people, but we should not get affected. So that's how, that is sympathy means, okay, if the person is affected, we also feel. But if we are just crying and not doing anything, and we ourselves, get involved in that, and we forget what was the real purpose I came. I have to take him out of his lamentation, and I am only lamenting with him. Then there is a problem. Prabhupada writes.
So the previous one was passion and this is ignorance.
Yeah.
So in this, how do we understand ignorance? The example which you gave, lamentation, it is clear. But here, since it is saying deviated from the vibration of Vedic hymns, how do we conclude ignorance?
Because if somebody is, not regularly, aware of the scriptures, reading scriptures, then it is very easy to get deviated from the, principles of the scriptures and follow something which is wrong. That is how ignorance creeps in. That's how we have to regularly sharpen our intelligence with this wisdom, with this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad knowledge. As Bhagavatam says, when Shukdev Goswami gives example, just like in the countryside, when people walk in between two lands, there is a pathway created, Pagdandi, made by walking. But in the rainy season, nobody walks. So the path gets covered. That's what happens when we don't read scriptures regularly. Marga babhuva sandigdha trinai shannaya samskrita na abhyasyamana shrutayo dvijay kalena chahata. Na abhyasyamana. If you are not doing abhyas regularly, will be deviated. Our intelligence will get covered by doubts. Prabhupada writes, every person engaged in loving service of the Lord is prone to so many material activities. And if one is not strong enough, he may be diverted from spiritual energy. So we have to be really careful in this path of devotional service. If we are not sufficiently strong enough, sufficiently careful enough, then it is so very easy to get deviated. Our mind is sufficient to deviate us. Because mind likes to create, imaginary problems, magnify the existing problems. As there is a famous verse, Shurasya dhara nihishta duratyaya durgam pathastat kavayo vadanti. All the great sages have said that this path of spiritual life, it is like path of walking on a razor's edge. Shurasya dhara. Therefore, it is a uttishta prapya varan. इसमें बोलते हैं. Prabhupada writes that. The path of spiritual life is stated in the Vedas to be like the edge of a sharpened razor. Little inattentiveness may create havoc. Shurasya dhara. We have to be really careful. This is in Katha Upanishad. Few lines before, Prabhupada writes, Brahma The supermost Brahman is afraid of such a fall down. Therefore, he prays to the Lord for protection. This is a warning for one and all in advancement of spiritual life. Unless one is sufficiently protected by the Lord, he may fall down from his spiritual position. Therefore, one has to pray constantly to the Lord for protection and the blessings to carry out one's duty. Very, very important. Two things we have to do constantly. Pray for the protection and blessings for service. Empowerment and protection. Both are needed. So then after this, he offers prayers to the Lord who is sleeping. He's just getting up. So 25th is a famous waking up prayer we make to the Lord. So sa vadabra karuno bhagavan vivriddha prema smitena nayanamburuham vijrimbhan
प्रेमास्मितेन नयनरूपं
उत्थाय
विसृज्य
विश्वविजयाय चनो विषादम्
उत्थाय विश्वविजयाचनौ
माध्या
विषादम्
गिरापन्यतात् पुरुषः पुराणः
मध्यागिरात्पनयात् पुरुषः पुराण.
God, who is supreme and is the oldest of all, is unlimitedly merciful. I wish that he may smilingly bestow his benediction upon me by opening his lotus eyes. He can uplift the entire cosmic creation and remove our dejection by kindly speaking his directions.
So Asava Bhagavan, may the Supreme Lord, who is Purusha Puran, who is eternal, who is Adabra Karuna, he is most compassionate, abundantly merciful, Vivriddha, who is always full of love, Nayana Amburuham Vijrimbhan. Vijrimbha means open. Oh my Lord, please open your lotus eyes. And not just cast your merciful glance. Prema smitena. Please smile with love. And therefore, Utthaya, wake up. So that Vishwa Vijayaya Naha, so that I should not get defeated. Unless you show your mercy, it will not be possible for me. Utthaya, Vishwa Vijayaya, I will not be defeated in the work of creation. Please bestow your mercy, O my Lord. And Vishadam Madhvaya Gira Panyatat, may that Supreme Lord dispel my Vishad. Vishad means sorrow. By his sweet instructions. Gira Panyatat. So you please speak, instruct me on this matter of creation. How should I do it so that I can perform this service nicely? So after this, Maitreya Muni says, Brahmaji became silent. Yeah, 26th verse translation. Somebody can say.
The sage Maitreya said, O Vidura, after observing the source of his appearance, namely the personality of Godhead, Brahma prayed for his mercy as far as his mind and words would permit him. Thus having prayed, he became silent, as if tired from his activities of penance, knowledge, and mental concentration.
So now after this, Brahmaji became silent. He glorified the Lord as per his ability, and then he became silent. 27th verse, 27, 28th translation.
Lord saw that Brahma was very anxious about the planning and construction of the different planetary systems and was depressed upon seeing the devastating water. he was taking water. He could understand the intention of Brahma, and thus he spoke in the powerful word, removing all the illusion that had arisen.
So he could understand that, okay, Brahmaji wants to create this universe. So Brahmaji glorified the Lord as per his ability, as far as his mind and the words could permit. 26th verse says, Yavan mano vachaha stutva. As far his mind and words allowed, he glorified the Lord. Suta Goswami also tells the same thing in the first canto. I will glorify the Lord. He gives the example of what?
Words.
Just like the birds, they fly in the sky as far as their wings allow. Maitreya Muni also speaks similar. Third canto. It will come. He says, Tathapi kirtayami anga yathamati yathashrutam. I think it has come. Kirtir harer swam satkartum giram anya abhidha asati. Still I'll glorify yathamati yathashrutam, as far as my intelligence will allow and whatever I have heard. Otherwise, if I don't do this, my tongue will become unchaste. So after glorifying the Lord, Brahmaji became silent, and Brahma and Lord could understand. It is a very difficult task because he has to give a body to each and every living entity as per his desire. As per his desire. Those who are managers of yatra, if they are taking a big crowd, सबको उसके हिसाब का room देना, that is very difficult. But Brahmaji has to do this service. सबको unlimited living entities को कैसे fit करेंगे? कौन सा कितना variety डालेंगे room का? One bedroom, two bedroom with AC, with non-AC, dormitory में डालेंगे, किधर डालेंगे? So Brahmaji's task is a huge task. Prabhupada writes, he says, all the living entities, all the planets in this world are situated according to the different grades of living entities under the influence of modes. So there are 3 modes. You mix them, it becomes 9. You mix them, it becomes 81, and so on. It goes on increasing. It is unlimited. So Lord Brahma had to accommodate different places and situations for the bodies of the souls. So therefore, he was really confused how to do it. So now Brahma, he was already dejected, seeing the waters of devastation. इतना पानी भर गया है, building में खाली करना है इसको. So he was thinking, what to do now? How to create bodies? How to make room? पहले तो पानी निकालना पड़ेगा, तब जाके पता चलेगा क्या कौन सा रूम किधर है, वो दिख ही नहीं रहा है. किसको किधर डालना है वो तो बाद की बात है. So Lord, he understood as he understands the intention of everyone. And first thing he says, Lord says, please don't be anxious. चिंता मत करो, सब हो जाएगा. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Maved Garbhastastintandrim Targay Uddayamam Avaha
Sarga Uddamavaha
Tanmaya Paditam Hyagre
Tanmaya Paditam Yangre
Yanmam Prarthayate Bhavan.
Yanmam Prarthayate Bhavan. Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then says, O Brahma, O depth of Vedic wisdom, be neither depressed nor anxious about the execution of creation. What you are begging from me has already been granted before. Hare Krishna.
So very, very hope giving. जो मांग रहे पहले दे दिया आपको मैंने, already given. Ma Ved Garbha. First he says Ved Garbha. He is the knower of the Vedas. Ved Garbha. Gas Tandrim. You should not be bereft of knowledge. Sarga Udyamam Avaha. Go start the efforts of creation. आप करो, शुरू तो करो. You start. Maya Apaditam. I will accomplish it. Don't worry. I will provide everything. And actually, I have already provided whatever is needed. Agre. पहले ही दे दिया है. Yanmam prarthayate. Whatever you are asking me, I have already granted. So that's how Lord is saying, please don't be anxious and depressed. When a person thinks that he is a doer, then he becomes anxious and depressed. सब कुछ तो मेरे को ही करना है. So I have to be really working hard. But if a person understands, okay, it is Krishna's work. Krishna is providing me all the strength. Why I should be worried? That's what Lord is saying. I will do everything. I have done, provided everything. You don't worry. Prabhupada writes. Of course, any person authorized by the Lord and his representative is already blessed. So one does not wait for the blessing to come. Blessings are already there. That's why the service is given. Along with the instructions come the blessings. सेवा दिया है तो आशीर्वाद है ही, already मिल गए. Of course, the person entrusted with such a responsibility should always be aware of his incapability and must always look for the mercy of the Lord. That is our devotee should always do. Although service may be given and mercy is already there, but still we should pray for it. We should understand that I am not qualified for it. Please empower me and show mercy. And one should not be puffed up. मुझे सेवा दिया मालूम. इतने devotees में I was the chosen one who was given this service. So there must be some qualification I must be having. That's why ये सेवा ने सबको मेरे को ही दिया. One should not be puffed up. And then he says, fortunate is he who is entrusted with the service, and if he is always fixed in the sense of being subordinate to the will of the Lord, he is sure to come out successful. So that we should always remember. We may not be able to do the services properly sometimes, but a devotee should never give up hope, and a devotee should never stop practicing, trying. Vasudev, he saw his 6 sons being killed in front of him. And when the Lord appeared, he said, please take me out of this prison. Vasudev didn't say, मेरा track record देखा है. I could not save any of my child. And you are telling me to take you out of this prison all the way to Gokul. So there Shukdev Goswami uses the word Tatascha Shauri Bhagavat Prachodita Sutam Samadaya Sasuti Kagrihat. Tatascha Shauri. Shauri means Shurvir. Shauri क्या शूरवीरता का काम किया वासुदेव ने? He is not described as a person who was a warrior, who was a very, very powerful. Shurvir bolte hain, Shauri. Because he didn't give up hope. Okay, Lord is giving me the service, he'll empower me also. So that is the definition of bravery as per the Lord. Who is Shauri? Who never gives up hope. Lord will surely show mercy. I may have fallen many times. I may be beaten by my anarthas unlimited times, but still, I will continue trying. I will not give up because Shauri, Lord expects his devotees to be brave. Lord expects that we should not give up. Because once we give up, then Lord also feels bad. I wanted to make him strong. I wanted to empower him. But he is giving up. He is going away. So that's how it is. So now, Brahmaji may be thinking, what will happen with my efforts? And now, planet like earth, which I am supposed to create, I am not able to see also. Hey, kidhar, the Bhumandal is in the water. Where will I put the living entities? First of all, the foundation is itself missing. So that is the problem. Brahmaji is thinking. So Lord understands, he speaks the next verse. Bhuyastvam tapa atishta
Bhuyastam tapa adisha
vidyam chaiva madashrayam
Shaiva Madashrayam
abhyam antarhridhi brahman
Prapyam Antarvritti
lokan
Brahman
drakshasya pavritan.
Lokan Drakshastapavritan.
Oh, Brahma, situate yourself in the penance and meditation and follow the principles of knowledge in my favor. By these actions, you will be able to understand everything from within your heart.
So he says, don't worry, start doing tapasya. So he says, how to receive the favor of the Lord? It is by penance, by meditation, by following the principles of knowledge. You will receive my favor. So if you want to receive the mercy of the Lord, tapasya, sadhana, and swadhyaya. These three things are very important. What will happen by this? You will be able to understand everything from within your heart. How to get out, how to take this earth out of the water, how to create, you will understand everything. Antarhridhi Brahman. From inside heart, you will understand. Chakravarti Thakur writes, concentrate your mind and worship through mantra. You will see in your heart and externally as well the planets such as Earth and the inhabitants without the covering of water. You will see everything. You will see the Earth. You will see in all the living entities. You will come to know everything. Prabhupada writes. Somebody can read that purport?
Which one is the mercy?
Hmm.
The mercy the Lord bestows upon a particular person engaged in executing the responsible work entrusted unto him is beyond imagination. But in his mercy is received due to our penance and perseverance in executing devotional service. Brahma was entrusted with the work of creating the planetary system. The Lord instructed him that when he meditated, he would very easily know where and how the planetary system must be arranged. The directions where to come from within, and there was no necessity for anxiety in that. Such instructions of Bhakti Yoga are very imparted by the Lord from within, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 8.10.
Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yoga. So very, very important line. Mercy the Lord bestows upon a person who is executing the responsible work is unlimited. Beyond imagination, we can't understand how much mercy we are receiving. But Prabhupada writes, mercy is received due to our penance and perseverance. Unless we do tapasya, unless we do it consistently, Lord will not show mercy. Even the problems may come, externally we'll be troubled, internally we'll be troubled. But still, if we continue to do this service of helping other living entities, helping other devotees, Lord will show mercy. So, to do a service, one has to do the sadhana properly. If we are not doing our sadhana properly, then service will be difficult. Okay, now, Brahmaji, he prayed in 23rd verse, please show mercy so that I may not become a victim of pride. Lord is answering in the 31st verse, that prayer of Brahmaji. Tata atmani lokecha
तथा आत्मनि लोके च
Bhakti Yukta Samahitah
भक्तियुक्तः समाहितः
Drashtasi Mam Tatam Brahma
द्रष्टासि मां
Mai
ततः
Lokam
ब्रह्मन्
Swamatmanah.
मयि लोकात् स्वात्मना. Hare Krishna. Thank
O
you.
Brahma,
Oh,
when you are absorbed in devotional service, in the course of your creative activities, you will see me in you and throughout the universe, and you will see that you yourself, the universe and the living entities are all in you.
How you will not be affected by pride? You will see that सब कुछ मैं ही कर रहा हूँ. So you will not have pride. Atmani Lokecha, in the course of your creative activities, Bhakti Yukta Samahita. When you are absorbed in devotion, Drashtasi, you will see Mam, you will see me, you will see Brahman, you will see universe, you will see yourself, you will see all the living entities as in me only. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, Lord Vishnu is indicating 3 pastimes which Brahma would see. So what are these 3 pastimes? He says, engaged with concentration in bhakti, you will see within yourself and in the world. And you will see within me all the planets, such as Earth and Jivas, just as Yashoda saw. You will see this pastime also. And during Krishna's appearance, you will see me spread out as the calves and the cowherd boys. And you will see within me all the universes. You will see Brahma Vimohan Leela also. And you will see many forms of yourself, many Brahmas within me. He is indicating the story of Brahmaji coming to visit Krishna. And Krishna, the gatekeeper informs Krishna that Brahmaji has come. Krishna asks, which Brahma? So go and ask which Brahma you are. So he says, Krishna is asking which Brahma you are. Which Brahma means there is only one Brahma in this universe. Tell him, Brahma with 4 heads, the father of Sanat, Sanatan, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar. So by the time he went inside and told, this is a 4-headed Brahma, and Krishna says, okay, bring him. By the time he enters, he sees many Brahmas standing, some with 8 heads, 16 heads, 108 heads, 1000 heads, million heads. So he is telling you will see this pastime also. That's what Chakravarti Thakur writes. And that will destroy your pride. In Brahma Vimohan Leela, your pride will be destroyed. In this pastime, your pride will be destroyed. Yada tu sarva bhuteshu darushvagniva sthitim
दारुष्वमिग्न
praticakshito mam loko chakshita
प्रतिचक्षितां मां
jahyat
लोको
tarhyeva kashmalam.
जयात् हिरेव कश्मलम्. Hare Krishna. You will see me in all the living entities as well as all over the universe. Just as fire is situated in wood, only in that state of transcendental vision will you be able to be free from all kinds of illusion. Hare Krishna.
Yada tu sarva bhuteshu. You will see me in all living entities as well as all over the universe. Just as Darushu Agni, it's like fire is there in the wood. You will see me everywhere. Prati Chakshita Mam Loko. Prati Chakshit. Prati Chakshit means, Prabhupada writes, you will see this. What you will see? Mam Loko, you will see me everywhere. Jahyat Tarhi Eva Kashmalam. Only in the transcendental purified state you will be able to see all this, and you will be free from illusion by seeing this. Prabhupada writes, Brahmaji prayed that he should not forget his relationship. And the Lord is answering that. Lord said that he should not think of existing without a relationship with his omnipotency. You should understand that everything is coming from me only. Just like fire is there in wood, and different woods, different types of fire. Similarly, different living entities, they are having different bodies depending on the mode they are in. So that's what Prabhupada, that's what is the analogy. So you will see me just like fire is there in the wood. So all the living entities, they have different bodies depending on the mode they are in. But we should understand, I will be there in every living entity as Paramatma. The quality of fire is same everywhere, and the spiritual spark, part and parcel of the Supreme, is everywhere. Thus, the potency of the Lord is distributed all over. This transcendental knowledge alone can save one from the contamination of material illusion. And Brahmaji may ask, at what stage a person can attain you? So he answers in the 33rd verse. Yada rahitam atmanam bhutendriya gunashayai surupena mayopetam pashyan swarajyam ichchati.
When you are free from the conception of gross and subtle bodies, and when your senses are free from all influences of the modes of material nature, you will realize your pure form in my association. At that time, you will be situated in pure consciousness.
So, yada rahitam atmanam. So, when you will be free from bhut, indriya, guna, ashaya. When you will be free from the conceptions of gross and subtle body, and when you will be free from the influence of the modes, swarupena, then you will realize your pure form. And in that situation, swarajyam richati. You will attain, you will become completely independent. What is swarajya for a living entity? Mukti hitvan nyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. The complete independence is when the living entity gets situated in the constitutional position. Prabhupada talks about this, writes about this Swarupa. Jivera Swarupa hoye Krishnera Nityadas. And he quotes this verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Only by rendering devotional service one can be free from the material conceptions. Ihayasya hareerdasye karmana manasa gira nikhilashu api avasthasu jivan mukta sauchyati. A person who is engaging his body, mind and words in service of Krishna, although he is situated in, he is still there in the body, he is liberated soul. And then Prabhupada gives example of, okay, he quotes the verse, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Jivera Swarup Hoy Krishna Nityadas. And then he says, in this world, everyone is living entities are fearful. And they are trying to be free from this fear of this material existence. But only when a person comes under the control of the Supreme Lord, then he'll be free from the fear of material existence. Otherwise, there is no way. And there is a verse in Bhagavatam which says, living entity is like a street dog. Street dog sometimes goes to one house, he is beaten. Sometimes goes to other house, he is given something. Similarly, living entities, they go sometimes to higher species of life. They get a good body, enjoy. Sometimes they get lower bodies, lower species of life. They are beaten. But unless one understands this, that anyways, I am moving around in this world, Brahmand Brahmite. Kona Bhagyavan ji? Guru Krishna Kripaye Paye. So that will make one free from this misconception. Then one is situated in this original constitution, Swarajya. Bhukta bhoga parityakta drishta dosha cha nityashah na ishwarasya ashubham dhatte sway mahimni stitasya cha. Bhukta bhoga parityakta. When a living entity gives up the desire to enjoy this world, because he sees there is a fault, कुछ भी enjoy करेंगे problem आता है बाद में. Drishta dosh. And then he gets situated in his sway mahimini, उसकी महिमा में स्थित हो जाता है वो जीव. That is, what is the mahima of the जीव? जीवेरा स्वरूप होय कृष्ण नित्यदास. So that is the understanding. So then, and then Prabhupada writes, this verse is also applicable to the Jnani school. The enlightened Jnani, when free from all material contaminations, namely gross and subtle bodies, they are placed in the Supreme and is thus liberated from material bondage. The Jnanis and the devotees are actually in agreement up to the point of liberation. उधर तक हम लोग मानते हैं, उसके आगे we are not in agreement. Because the Jnanis, they are pacified going to Brahman, but devotees are not. They want reciprocation. They want some rasa. So now, after having, Lord is saying, after having taught you this jnana, bhakti and rasa, I will give you my mercy, not just now, but for all time to come. My mercy is always there with you. That he says in the 34th verse. Nana karma vitanena praja bhavi sasrikshataha
Praja bravi tisrushataha
natma vasidyat tasmimste
atmamsi tatyasas
varshiyan madanugraha.
varshayan graha.
Since your desire to increase the population inwardly and expand your varieties of service, you shall never be deprived in this matter, because my causeless mercy upon you will always increase all time.
So you will never be deprived. Praja bhavi. Bhavi is srikshata, because you are desiring to create. You want to do this service nicely. Nana karma vitanena, you will be engaging in various actions. Don't worry. Asmin na te atma avasidanti. Na atma avasidanti asmin. Your mind will never be degraded. Don't worry about it, because you are engaged in my service. Mad anugraha varshiyan. It will increase basically. My mercy will increase. आप सेवा करते रहो, आपको कृपा और मिलती रहेगी. Don't worry about the mercy. In one verse, Brahmaji tells Narad Muni in the second canto, he says, "Oh Narad Muni, my words never go wrong. My mind never goes towards wrong things. My न भारती में अंगम ऋषोपलक्षते न वै क्वचिन में मनसो मृषागति. My senses never go towards sense gratification. न मे ऋषिकाणि पतन्त्य सत्पथे." Why? How you have attained this position? Yanmai Ridautkanthyavata Dhrito Hari. Because I have kept the lotus, I have caught hold of the lotus feet of the Lord with great zeal. So that is the secret. He says, you will always receive my mercy, oh Brahmaji, don't worry. You keep on spreading this, you keep on preaching, you keep on creating. One time Bhakti Tirth Maharaj said, what is a vibrant temple? So vibrant temple means somebody may say, जहाँ पे अच्छा पूरा बड़ा सा मंदिर है, vibrant temple. और जहाँ पे अच्छा donation collection होता रहता है, vibrant temple. What is a vibrant temple? Bhakti Tirth Maharaj says, where preaching is happening, where new people keep coming, joining. That is a vibrant temple. So vibrant devotee, vibrant temple means always engaged in service, always preaching, always doing service. Nice purport Prabhupada writes, somebody can read.
Pure devotee of the Lord, being cognizant of the facts of the particular time, object, and circumstances, always desire to expand the number of devotees of the Lord in various ways. Such expansions of the transcendental service may appear to be material to the materialist, but factually they are expansions of the causeless mercy of the Lord towards the devotee. Plans for such activities may appear to be material activities, but they are different in potency, being engaged in the satisfaction of the transcendental senses of the Supreme.
Many times, some of the people, they would say, Arey, see Bhaktivedanta Swami, earlier he was a businessman. He knew how to create, company and empires and how to spread it. So he used all his material intelligence and he has, created ISKCON all over the world. So that's what Prabhupada is writing. Some people say, oh, this is a material expansion. Such expansions of transcendental service may appear to be material. Oh, there is nothing spiritual in that. Oh, unka background hi waisa tha, company banate. He was a businessman. So he's doing his business of, spreading this movement.
One of my friends is a corporate devotional service. Corporate devotional service. You are doing corporate devotional service.
So that's how people say, आप लोग तो business चला रहे हैं यहाँ पे. You have learned the art of, doing this business and that's what you are doing. But Krishna Shakti vina nahi tar pravartan. That's what Prabhupada is writing. These activities may appear material, but they are different in potencies because they are done for the satisfaction of the Lord. They are not done for our satisfaction. They are done for the satisfaction of the Lord. And unless Lord wants, this is not possible. So that's how. In fact, it is said that when Srila Prabhupada went to America, Prabhupada writes, Nachao, nachao, Prabhu, nachao, se mate, kasthera putuliyat nachao. Make me dance, oh my Lord, make me dance. Sureshwar Prabhu, you are saying that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already set up the stage for Mahaprabhu, for Srila Prabhupada to dance. Mahaprabhu had already made up that stage. Dance karne ke liye stage chahiye. So in the Western world, there were so many things happening. In 1960s, there was a social revolution happening. Many people were giving up their homes and becoming hippies. And they were searching for some truth, some higher knowledge. So they got attracted. There was economic revolution happening. There was
Vietnam War.
Vietnam War was happening, So people were very frustrated. There was religious revolution also happening, Previous to 1960, the church would say that church is the only way. If you are following any other religion, you cannot go to God. But then in 1965, they've changed this law. Exactly 1965. And they said, now we believe that there are other paths also. Religious revolution. There was a political revolution also happening. After First World War, Africans and Asians were not allowed in America. They're not given visa. But then there was a commotion, and many of the countries, European countries, they were pushing. So in 1965, they passed an act that now will give visa to the Asians also. And that's how Srila Prabhupada got the visa. So it was not a coincidence. Itne sare nahi hote ek sath coincidence. It was all plan of the Lord. So
Stage was set.
Stage was set for Prabhupada to go and dance. So therefore he says, please do not fear contamination of Rajogun. Rishi madhyam na badhnati. Papiyam stvam rajogunah. Yanmano mai nirbadham.
Yanmayo
Praja sansrijopite.
Praja samsrajopite. Hare
You are
Krishna.
the original Rishi, and because your mind is always fixed on me, Even though you will be engaged in generating various progeny, the vicious mode of passion will never encroach upon you.
Na badhanati, you will never be, bound and affected by Rajogun. Papiyam stvam Rajogun. Although you will be doing so many activities, you will not be bound by Rajogun. Because Mai Nirbadhamana, your mind is always fixed in. That is a secret. If the mind is always fixed on Krishna, then Rajogun, all the anarthas, all these problems will not disturb us, trouble us. So many times we get disturbed when we don't focus on the process, we focus on the problem. When we focus on the problem, then it becomes really overwhelming sometimes. So therefore he says, oh, don't be fearful. Passion will not encroach upon you. Praja samsrijopite, as you will be doing this service, you will not be affected. Prabhupada writes, sometimes in the life of Brahma, it is seen that he gets affected. In 10th canto, he is bewildered. But he is not bewildered by the external action. He is bewildered by the internal potency of the Lord. It was a plan of the Lord. All such bewilderment of the pure devotees, especially meant for their further advancement in knowledge. Arjuna was also bewildered. Brahmaji was bewildered. But they became more knowledgeable. They became advanced. So now, Lord, in the next verse, he approves that Brahma, you have said that, okay, my body is spiritual. He is approving that. Yes, my body is spiritual. It is not like any other material body. It is Satchidananda. Gyatoham bhavata dedya twadya durvegyopi dehina durvigyeyo yanmam tvam manyase yuktam bhutendriya gunatmabhihi.
Although I am not easily knowable by the conditioned soul, you have known me today because you know that my personality is not constituted of anything material and especially not of the five gross and three subtle elements.
Gyato aham. Today, adya, bhavata, you. Today you have known me, gyato aham. Although, durvigyeyo api. Although, for conditioned soul, I am very difficult to be known. Yan mam tvam manyase yuktam. Now, because you know that I am not anything material. My body is not material. My soul, my body, my subtle body, they are not material. They are all spiritual. Lord's gross body, Lord's subtle body, there is no difference in that. It is all spiritual. Bhut Indriya Gunatma Bhi, it is not made up of five senses and the gross elements. Five gross and the subtle elements. So that is the knowledge which Brahmaji has. So therefore he says, don't think you could see this form by your achievement, your endeavor. By my mercy only you could see this form. And that's what he says in the next verse. You are the proof that since my form can only be seen by my inconceivable desire, it cannot actually be perceived by material eye. I revealed this form of mine to you. Tubhyam mad vichikitsayam atma me darshito bahihi nalena salile moolam pushkarasya vichinvataha.
Hare Krishna. When you were contemplating whether there was a source of the stream of the lotus of your birth, and you even entered into that state, you could not trace out anything. But at that time, I manifest my form from within. Hare Krishna.
Tubhyam salile vichinvatah, as you were searching in the water, Pushkarasya, for the base of the lotus, Brahmaji entered the lotus and you were searching, where is the base of this lotus? You are going down, Nalena Moolam. At that time, Mad Vichikitsayam, you are inquiring about me. Oh, where is the source of this creation? So what I did, Atma me darshito bahi. I revealed my form. I manifested my form from within. So Chakravarti Thakur writes, actually the cause of seeing me is not the worship or meditation, because these are not mentioned here. Cause of seeing me is my desire only. Because you did tapasya, I didn't, I was not forced to come, but I was merciful because you did tapasya. I became merciful. That's why I desired to show myself to you. So that is the understanding. And Prabhupada writes, Lord can be experienced only by his causeless mercy. Athapi te deva padambuja dvaya prasadalesha nugrihita evahi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno na chanya ekopi chiram vichinvan. Brahmaji is praying. In the 10th canto it comes. Oh my Lord, unless one receives a drop of your mercy, nobody can understand you. Prasadalesh, a drop of mercy. Otherwise, even if one endeavors for many, many lifetimes, one cannot know you. Janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno na chanya ekopi. Others, they can never understand. So material senses cannot approach the Lord. Atha Sri Krishna namadi na bhaved grahyam indri. You cannot understand, see the Lord. He can be appreciated only by submissive devotional service. And eyes which are anointed with salve of love. Where it is said? Eyes which are full of love for the Lord. Premanjana Churita. As long as one's spiritual eyes are closed due to dirty covering of the matter, one cannot see the Lord. But when the Lord is removed, when the dirt is removed by the process of devotional service, one can see the Lord. Brahma's personal endeavor to see the root of the lotus pipe failed. But when the Lord was satisfied by his penance and devotion, he revealed himself from within with no external endeavor. So that is how he is saying, I showed myself to you, not because you did tapasya, because I desired to show myself. And then in the 38th verse, he says, whatever you prayed, whatever you heard, whatever you tapasya you did, whatever prayers you offered, it is all by my mercy. Yat chakarthanga matstotram matkathabhyudayankitam yadva tapasite nishtha
Yadva tapasite nishtha
saesha madanugraha.
Brahma, the prayer that you have chanted praising the glories of my transcendental activities, the penances you have undertaken to understand me, and your firm faith in me, all these are to be considered my causeless mercy. Oh,
जो भी हो रहा है मेरी कृपा ही.
बड़ी इच्छा हो रही
You are offering prayers, I am giving you intelligence. As Dhruva offers his prayers, Yonta pravishya mam avacham imam prasuptam sanjeevayatyakila shaktidhara swadhamna anyam shahasya charana shravana tvagadin prana namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Oh my Lord, you have entered my senses. Anta pravishya, you have enlivened all my senses beginning with my speech. That's why I'm able to offer prayers. That's what he's saying. Prayers you are chanting, that strength to do tapasya, who gave you strength? I gave. And who gave you faith to believe those words, tapa, tapa? I gave. सब कुछ भगवान ही दे रहे हैं. So one should not think, I am doing. And no, one should not think that सब कुछ भगवान ही कर रहे हैं, तो why should I endeavor? I think Prabhupada writes the last line. Voluntary endeavor is the only qualification for spiritual perfection.
Voluntary endeavor. Okay.
So Lord's mercy is the key factor, but when Lord shows mercy,
When you do something.
that is Damodar Leela. Endeavor and mercy. Voluntary endeavor. And then he says, I am intensely pleased with your devotion. Pritoham astu bhadram te lokanam vijayechaya yadastau shir gunamayam
Yadastor Shir
nirgunam manuvarnayam.
Varnayan.
I'm very much pleased by your description of me in terms of my transcendental qualities, which appear mundane to the mundaners. I grant you all benedictions in your desire to glorify all the planets by your activity.
So he says, Pritoham, I am very pleased. Bhadram te, all auspiciousness be unto you, O Brahmaji. Because you have praised me such wonderfully. Mayanu Manu Varnayan. आपने मुझे इतना मान दिया है, इतना मेरा प्रशंसा किया. You have praised me a lot. Yad astaushi. Astaushi means you have recognized me. You have prayed for me. And Lokanam Vijana Ichchaya. Vijaya Ichchaya. Why you prayed? Because you wanted to procreate. You wanted to do your service. So therefore, I am very pleased. I am offering all my prayer, all my benedictions. A pure devotee of the Lord like Brahma and those in the line of disciplic succession always desire that Lord be known all over the universe. Because he is saying, you wanted to glorify me. That is a devotee. Devotee of the Lord always wants to glorify the Lord. That desire of devotee is always blessed by the Lord. If we want to glorify the Lord, Lord will bless us by strength. The pure devotees of the Lord are always most dear to him. Although he is always kind and merciful to all living entities, but he is especially merciful to his devotees. Chakravarti Thakur writes, with a desire that the progeny you create would be victorious, you praised me by saying that I had a form with an ocean of wondrous qualities, and also described that I was devoid of material qualities. I am pleased with that. Let there be auspiciousness even for those who praise me for having qualities like Sattva Guna in the form of Narayan. Some people say Vishnu is the presiding deity of Sattva Guna. Oh, they also should be happy. I give benedictions to them also. And if somebody says I am Nirgun, I am pleased with them also. But he says, I am not pleased with those who says I have no qualities. Let there not be auspiciousness for them. That's what Chakravarti Thakur writes.
Nirakarvadi is not happy. God is not happy.
Yeah. So therefore he says, since I am pleased with you, abhi aur kya bolna bacha hai abhi? You have achieved everything, right? So therefore he says, any human being who prays like Brahma and thus worships me shall very soon be pleased with the fulfillment of all his desires. And then 41st verse. We'll complete this chapter. 2 verses are 2, 3, 4 verses are remaining. Purtena tapasa yajyair
Purtena tapasa
danair yoga samadhina
yoga samadhi
radham nishraya sampumsam mat pritas tattva vinmatam.
It is the opinion of expert translators that the ultimate goal of performing all traditional good works, penances, sacrifices, charities, mystic activities, trances, etc., is to invoke my satisfaction.
41st. Okay. Tattva vin. Mat priti tattva vit. Tattva vit means it is the matam. Tattva vit matam means it is the opinion of expert transcendentalists. So what they say? To please Krishna is the ultimate perfection of life. That is my. The Lord could have said that is my opinion. Why is he saying, oh, these Tattvavadis say like that? They are great transcendentalists who say that pleasing me is the highest perfection. You know, so that's how Lord always recognizes authorities. Although he could have said, that is my opinion. मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं प्रसन्न हूँ, that is a perfection. बड़े-बड़े लोग बोलते हैं. So that's how, you know, Lord always give importance to parampara and all the authorities of devotion, spiritual culture. There is a verse, tapasvino danaparaya shasvino manasvino mantravido sumangala shemam na vindanti vinaya darpanam tasmai subhadra shravase namo nama. Shukdev Goswami is praying. You are great tapasvi, you are a charitable, you are a scholar, you are a tapasvino, manasvino, mantravido, you are great reciter of mantras. You will not get perfection unless you offer it to me. Shemam na vindanti, जिनको अर्पण नहीं करेंगे तो कुछ नहीं फायदा. That's what Prabhupada writes in the purport. Perfection of any activity, social, political, religious, philanthropic, is to satisfy the Lord. Some said there, Haritoshanam. That is the perfection. Aham atmanam dhataha, aham atmatmanam dhataha, preshta sanpreya samapi, ato mairatim kurvat,
Ato mairatim kuryo,
dehaderyat krite priyaha.
he haryat prite priya.
I am the super soul of every individual. I am the supreme director and the dearest. People are wrongly attached to the gross and subtle body, but they should be attached to me only.
Aham atmatmanam. I am the super soul of every living entity. I am dhata. Dhata means I am the supreme director. Mata dhata pitamaha. Dhata means director. Preshtha, a son preyasama, and dearmost for everyone. Therefore, one should be attached to me only. Mai ratim kurvat, मुझसे प्रेम करो. But क्या करें ये लोग अपने शरीर से प्रेम करते हैं. You know, they are attached to their bodies. Dehadi yat krite priya. So that is a problem Lord is telling himself. So one should not be attracted to the body. One should be attracted to Krishna.
That's why Prabhupada must be saying, you are not body, you are the spirit soul.
Yeah. That's how, that is what Prabhupada and that's what Krishna always say. Don't get attached to a body. When a person does not know Lord is the dearmost object, then he is conditioned soul. And when he understands, he is liberated. Okay, so then Prabhupada writes a long purport here. In the second paragraph, he writes, the stress is given to focusing love on Supreme. The word Kuryat is used here. One must have it. Mai ratim kurvat. It is Kuryat. It is not an option. It is a compulsion. It is must. It is just to stress that we must have more and more attachment to the principle of love for Krishna. And then Prabhupada writes after a few lines, a rich miser does not know how to utilize his wealth. And therefore, in spite of being rich, his miserly behavior keeps him everlastingly a poor man. On the other hand, person who knows how to utilize wealth can quickly become a rich man, even with a small credit balance. You should know how to live in a rich way. If you're a miser, even if you have unlimited wealth, you will stay like a poor person only. But if you are not miser, you know how to utilize wealth properly and live a good life, then you can achieve all the happiness. So that is how it is said that scriptures always say wealth of God, love of God is there in everyone's heart, dormant, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema. It is there in the heart. People are miser. They don't know how to utilize that wealth. That's why they always remain miser. They always keep suffering and lamenting and complaining. Itna problem chal raha life mein. Nobody is loving. Nobody is caring for me. I'm always disturbed. When you connect to the source of love which is there in the heart, you'll always be happy. Okay. When in the Brahma Vimohan Leela, when Brahmaji stole all the calves and the cows and the cowherd boys, Krishna expanded and became everything. After 1 year, when again on the Balram Jayanti day, because last was Balram Jayanti, Balram was not there. So Balram, few days before, he sees that all these cows and the mothers of Vrindavan, they have the same affection for their children as they have had for Krishna. Earlier it was not the case. They would love Krishna more. Now they are loving their children like Krishna. How is this possible? Because, and Parikshit Maharaj asks, how can one love one's child more than somebody else? How can somebody love Krishna more than one's own child? So Shukadeva Goswami says, because Krishna is the supreme object of affection. He is a source of love. So that's how, if you love Krishna, then naturally you will be satisfied. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, I alone should be the dearest to all the jivas. They should hold me dear. This is the injunction. Affection for the wife and son is based on one's body. Mere. Affection for the body. Why we are affectionate for the body? Affectionate to the body?
Me and mine.
Okay, mine because they are connected to me. Why me? Because we are connected to soul. The body belongs to the jiva.
Correct.
So we are affectionate to the body because it is based on the affection for the soul, Atma. We are Atma.
So the soul is attached to the body. Soul is loving body.
Yeah. So why we are attached to the body? Because body is, we have this conception, Mera, my body. My means Atma. And why the jiva is, why we are attached to ourselves? He says affection for the jiva is based on Paramatma. Because we have come from Paramatma. And affection for Paramatma is natural. So that is the analysis he does. So therefore, one should always try to develop affection for Supreme Lord. And then he ends, you can read last 2 verses. Translation.
43rd now. By following my instructions, you can now generate the living entity as before. By dint of your complete Vedic wisdom and the body you have later received from me, the supreme cause of everything.
Next.
The sage Maitreya said after instructing Brahma, the creator of the universe, to expand the primeval Lord, the personality of Godhead in his personal form and Narayana, disappeared.
So that's how Lord instructed Brahmaji, and then he disappeared. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Radha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna.